Look, I know I already did a news video for November, and that news video on my to-do list is done, but I'm going to go ahead and do that news video for December because, one, out of all the other videos I'm going to be working on, I'm not going to be able to have any room to wait till later on the news video until I move on over to the to-do list where the news video is included. But also, I have to also get ready for the New Year special and figure out what to do for New Year's celebration on the Gamer Man's Lounge. So you know what? Here you go. A news video for December.
Welcome, the Gamer Man's Lounge. Awaken to play.
What I will go ahead and do is that if these situations decide to keep up, I'm going to make some revisions where news videos are going to be not counted towards videos outside of the to-do list. So yeah, if that keeps up, I'm going to make revisions. Not now, but if it keeps up. Now, how my news videos work is that when it comes to my news videos, I go through news stories from past weeks leading up to now, because news in terms of gaming and technology have been pretty much very slow recently. So yeah, I know there's the Game Awards that happened, but right now we're stuck to these select set of news stories for today's news video. So let's get right on going to the news. And before that, source links will be in the description. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with the first story. Now, you can check it out at the official website. However, I will not go ahead and post a link, but just know it's going to be for sale on CITED. Alright. So, yes, also there is a pre-order bonus for CITED. What it is that it's Honeycomb getting an expansion pack called Honeycomb Dulce. Yes, that's right. It's going to be coming on the 22nd of December, and if you go ahead and pre-order, you do get a bonus outfit. A bonus pre-order outfit, by the way. So that looks pretty much nice to look at. So not only that, it's extra stuff, and plus the pre-order outfit looks very nice. I can't miss out on that. And, however, do keep in mind there's a situation going on with CITED involving PayPal. We'll cover that later. But the expansion will be titled Dulce. It'll be coming out the 22nd of December. It's going to add 2 new personalities, new outfits, and new hairstyles for your custom-made waifus. And there's going to be new areas and new scenes. And not only that, Honeycomb will be getting its own studio mode titled Digital Craft. So, something you might want to keep in mind about. So, it's looking pretty wild, and be ready for the 22nd of December near Christmas time. So let's get right on going to the next news story, where we got Steam Link coming over to VR. Now, Steam Link VR is going to be the most simplistic way of accessing your VR Steam games. So that way you don't have to launch the Oculus app and then launch the Steam VR app to just boot up your VR Steam games should they be required to go through Steam VR. So that's good, alright? Now, available on the MetaQuest store right now, as we speak, it's free. And yes, you can access the PC VR titles on Steam without going through the Oculus PC app. And just keep in mind, it requires a gaming PC with an NVIDIA GPU and a wired connection for your VR PC. Now, NVIDIA, it's because NVIDIA seems to be the only people that seem to be keeping the ball on rolling and getting things right with VR. AMD is not doing well with VR, and Intel is not focused on VR at all. Their priorities are more focused towards getting Intel Arc GPUs for... Alright, so the only GPU you're going to end up trusting most of the time is going to be NVIDIA. It is the way that it is. Also, you might want to get on a 5 gigahertz or greater Wi-Fi channel as recommended. So with that totally said, keep in mind of that and keep going. And also, there is a new VR headset from the makers of a VR app that's called Big Screen. Big Screen is a very big deal. Now, the new VR headset from the Big Screen team is going to be titled Big Screen Beyond. It's from the makers of the popular Big Screen VR app, used for watching VR videos and remote streaming of your desktop PC. And it's going to be meant to be a smaller, lighter, less bulky VR headset. It's going to be like the headset that's going to be the replacement for the Valve Index VR headset. You are required to get a hold of that Index base model and Index controller. What you're doing is essentially you're swapping out the headset for the Big Screen headset. You're getting for a smaller, lighter, you don't have to deal with the bulk and whatnot. Now, the Big Screen Beyond is going to have OLED display and pancake-style lens display. This is going to be at 5120 by 2560. Alright, with refresh rate of 90 Hz and can use third-party accessories. As a matter of fact, I just said that you're going to be needing that. It's basically going to be like the VR headset replacement for the Valve Index. You want a less bulkier thing. So that's the idea of the Big Screen Beyond in a nutshell. All right. So this is kind of meant more for it. And let's get right on going, where I'm going to go ahead and bring up DLSite's PayPal issue. Well, what's going on? Now, this is a public service announcement. Yes, I did check now, and the situation did not get aired out. However, what's going on here is that PayPal purchases have been halted on DLSite due to a situation going on. Well, PayPal is giving DLSite a hard time and other DLSite customers a hard time, so they basically had to shut down. Now, what ended up happening was that DLSite payments could be handled via PayPal through DLPay. That ends up getting shut down. DLPay gets shut down, and DLSite's migrating the PayPal stuff onto the main site, which is essentially their Comipo situation. And due to a technical difficulty, PayPal is not available as of December 1st, 2023, and not available as of right now. It's not working. However, DLSite points can also be purchased via Tokyo Otaku Mode. By the way, that you can get through PayPal. And the good news here is that it does have the Tokyo Otaku Mode thing, but this feels more like a scratch my back and I'll scratch yours kind of thing, that Tokyo Otaku Mode. Yes, I did get points from Tokyo Otaku Mode. It went well. I got my code, got my points. Alright. Good times to be had. I was able to pre-order that, and I'm glad. Thank you, Tokyo Otaku Mode, for doing that. And yeah. So, yeah, just till then, till that situation gets aired out, if you want to try Tokyo Otaku Mode, go ahead and try it. But, however, if you want to go into their premium program, by the way, you can pay $15 and you're covered for 90 days. I'm surprised. You get a 1-month trial, and then, from what I am reading, if I'm reading this right, the $15 lasts you 3 months. Not bad. I'll give you that. Not bad. I definitely will go ahead and say that. And also, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take a quick break, but here, I got for you a video game recommendation. Let the Lounge recommend you a game. It's Quake Arena Arcade. And by the way, it's exclusive on Xbox, but forwards compatible for Xbox Ones and Xbox Series. Arena Arcade is a very solid port that combines content from Quake 3 Arena and Quake 3 Team Arena, blends them both together, adds in new exclusive content to the game, a new extended that combines both campaigns from 3 and Team Arena together and extends it some more. Oh yes, and also, you can also play with LANs, and you can play online, but you can also play offline with bots. In practice mode, it's a very solid port if you can get the hang of using the controller. Yes, you have to get the hang of using the controller, but hey, this port is worth checking out. Back on to the news. We got a new playable character for Action Taimanen. Her name's gonna be Spinel, and Spinel will be playable on December 5th. Well, already is playable. Now you can go ahead and pay a bundle of if I remember right, starting at $45. All right, this is how they usually handle new character releases. So when she makes her debut on the 5th, like when new playable characters make their first debut, you're getting like an early access date. Okay, if you want the early access, you can get the character bundled. But if you want to wait till you unlock with gems, you have to wait like up to 2 weeks. Now for Spinel, she will be playable on the 18th of December, if I remember right. And yeah, but until then, she's going to be unlockable earlier if you pay the 45 or above, or you can wait till the 18th and unlock her through gems, considering that you saved up enough gems, or you have another thing that you're holding your money down for, like say the Steam Winter Sale that could be coming up, or let's say upcoming characters like Navia. We'll get to that later. So, should history repeat, like I said, she's going to be unlockable in gems in 2 weeks, and the costume selection for Spinel is going to be her regular, her Christmas, that's going to be through Shop of Desires, the workout outfit, bathrobe, bunny girl, alternate outfit, and the casual. Now, Spinel's going to be a demon class, she's going to be a demon girl, who's going to be on Suppress, and she's going to have her own unique weapon set. She wields great swords, and I figured that was definitely the case when it came to Spinel's weapon. Like, it could be like she could share the same thing with Murasaki, but no. She's going to wield her own weapon set, and she's going to wield great swords, so that's something to keep in mind about. So with that totally said, so yeah, she looks gorgeous, she looks amazing, mighty thick, very milky thick. So let's get right on going to the next story, where we have Genshin Impact's 4.3 special program. Now, as soon as those second phase banners are dealt with, if I remember right, Sinnoh and Baizhu. Alright, so when that banner goes out, that's when 4.3 comes out, and there's going to be some new characters. A Geo, alright, a 5-star Geo, by the way, Navia. She's going to be a Claymore user, and a 4-star Chevreuse, or Chevreuse. Hopefully I pronounced her name right, but yeah, she's going to be a 4-star Pyro and Polearm user, and there's going to be a new Serenity Teapot environment with Fontaine theme added into it for the Serenity Teapot, as well as more content involving Fontaine for Glorious Invocation TCG. And the banner characters for Phase 1 is going to be Navia and Ayaka. Alright, Phase 2 is going to be Raiden Shogun and Yoimiya with the new 4-star character, Chevreuse. Hopefully I said her name right. But there's going to be some serious quality of life improvements for Genshin as soon as 4.3 hits in. So the QOL, or quality of life improvements, are going to be the artifact set recommendations that are going to be put into the game. There's going to be detailed artifact search and menus going to happen for artifacts, improved leveling and ascension. There's going to be revised domain loading, revised quest progressions, and improved expeditions from left and right. So everything's going to be simplified from left and right, especially in one click if we're going to talk about like the character leveling and the expedition stuff. And there's going to be some revised quest progressions when it comes to accessing the Archon quests. And it's going to be very interesting. And also, we do have some serious concerns for Genshin. Now, we don't know if Hoyoverse is going to be a good sport with Genshin about it, but as the Game Awards kicked off, yeah, Genshin lost for players' vote. So, but Honkai Star Rail did win Best Mobile Game, if I remember right. And with the situation where I'm beginning to have a feeling that Honkai Star Rail is more the favorite child compared to Genshin, especially considering how they mess things up with Dea. We gotta talk about that. I have a very... Because they really did a good job with Farina, and they did a good job with the Fontaine story quest. But one thing that I want to go ahead and say, there's going to be that straw that breaks the camel's back should they screw up another 5-star character. So I'm hoping they don't mess up Navia, and I'm hoping they don't mess up Chlorinde. Because that could spell a huge mess if they screw up one of those and it became the straw that breaks the camel's back. And if that happens, we're going to be looking at drama similar to the anniversary back in 2021. And that's going to be understandably so. It's like, you can't release a character as a train wreck. That's the problem. You're not going to be able to get away with it for much longer. And also you have to think about, Dea needs improvements. Alright? Dea needs to be fixed. Okay? There are some characters that are... Amber needs to be buffed. That's the starter 4-star. Definitely. Dea needs to be buffed. Oh, my bad. Dea needs to be buffed. Okay, because that's a 5-star character. I don't care if this character is going to be on a standard banner or this is a standard banner character. You never screw up a 5-star ever. Ever. And we barely had issues like that when it came to Honkai Star Rail. So, hopefully we can balance things out evenly. Did I say it right? You know what? I'm going to go ahead and repeat myself in case I said it wrong. Evenly. Now, also, we'll just basically go ahead. They're already announcing another game, Zenless Zone Zero. That's coming out in 2024. Ooh, man. I did hear some not-so-pleasant things about Zenless Zone Zero. It is the way that it is. But, anyway, with that totally said, I'm going to go ahead and stop myself. And, yeah. News links in the description where we will go ahead and make some closing statements. And that brings to where I want to go ahead and make a discussion. If you're looking to find your Game of the Year for 2023, good luck, because it's going to be much harder to do that, because games are becoming more harder and harder and harder to trust, and you have to do the heavy amounts of research, and you have to play a lot of the waiting game, because it's not just the money that you're going to be blowing away. You're going to be blowing away their storage, you're going to be blowing away your time, and the fact that every single piece of storage is now going to be in solid-state drive. We're all having to adapt to solid-state drives, console and PC. That's another thing you have to think about. And then you have time. You don't want to waste your time, and you don't want to have a situation go horribly wrong, because in today's day and age, you can't afford to have a bad day. Like, oh, when something goes wrong, shrug it off, keep on new. I'll do something that'll cheer me up. No, you're going to have to shut everything down, meal plans included, hold off a bit, and rethink everything from square one. Because this is how today's day and age works, because we're very limited in ability from left to right. We have to be careful with how we go about cooking our meals and what groceries we get, and that's another thing to think about. As a matter of fact, I decided to skip out on doing my grocery... Don't worry, I'm doing good on groceries, but I'm going to be skipping out on my grocery shopping for December because there's a lot of factors that I have to think about too. There's the New Year's, there's the holiday season, and then you have more scrutiny, you have more tensions escalating, and then you have a situation where we have an upcoming quality control problem that's kicking down, and it could escalate into a full-blown quality control crisis. And then you have the situation is that when we're near a holiday, people get too comfortable, and when they get too comfortable, they get clumsy, and they get clumsy enough to cause situations, and that causes a lot of issues and a lot of tensions from left and right, and creates domino effects from left and right. So, and that's where we're going to be more limited than ever throughout the holidays, and that's why I went ahead and built that second computer, because things are not going to go well, and holidays could become disastrous. Like, that's something we might want to consider and start thinking about going forward. But, yeah, it's how... This is the new timeline. It's not like you can sit around here and say Silencio Bruno when something happens. Life's not a Disney movie, and that's another thing. And people are going to be wanting PlayStation 5s, Xbox Series from underneath the Christmas tree, but they don't bother to think about what... Or they don't really do good enough on bothering about what to get for their PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. And they don't bother to comprehend that, hey, we have to do a whole lot of detective work before we get into a game. And that can be a situation. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and stop myself before I ramble on and the video goes on for any longer. Now, with that totally said, the news video is done off my chest. And yeah, that is all, and I will be looking forward to you in the next video. Peace out.